The Sigma male epidemic is spreading at an alarming rate. Nowadays, all you need to do to become rich and famous is to pretend you're rich and famous, and like moth to a flame, all the teenagers who can't get girls will turn to you for advice like you're Jesus Christ or something. But today I'm going to be calling out and exposing every single self-proclaimed Sigma male in the industry, because as you'll find out very soon, there is a reason why all these people go by fake names. I've got a lot to talk about in today's video, so no more fucking around, let's just get straight into it. Here we go. So since I've been gone, I noticed that my video about Master Oogway did pretty well. So I guess this is my announcement that I'm officially a commentary YouTuber now. Yay! Now this series will be split up into two parts. In part one, I'll be going in depth and exposing every single insufferable Sigma male in the industry. And I'll also be taking a thorough look at their shady past that they try so very hard to hide. And in part two, which isn't out yet, I'll be going in depth and exposing the various red pillars in the industry. I know that their audience kind of overlaps each other, but if I were to talk about everyone in this video, it would go on for hours. But if you're interested in seeing that video as well, make sure you have notifications on so you can see it immediately. And now that all my announcements are out of the way, it's time to talk about Myron Gayes.
We destroy you bitch ass niggas! Let's go!
Myron Gayes is the co-host of the self-proclaimed #1 men's self-improvement podcast in the world. So I guess Andrew Huberman just doesn't exist now. But hey, maybe his podcast is actually good and beneficial for men's mental health.
I'm not going anywhere! I'm staying right fucking here! Alright? These guys were with me in my darkest times. I'm not gonna fucking leave them in their darkest times. Fuck you, motherfucker.
Okay, I guess not. Myron is a huge advocate for bringing back bullying, which is super ironic considering every time he gets called out, he abuses the copyright system and tries to get the video taken down. Also, if anyone tries claiming or removing this video, I will be taking legal action. Fuck you, Myron. Speaking of irony, Myron of course isn't actually his real name. Myron Gayes. Get it? Admiring my gains, which is just so silly because there's really not any gains to be admired here. But why would he actually hide his real name? I mean, is it just so he can have a cute little nickname? Maybe it's to hide the fact that he's actually gay. But wait, that wouldn't make any sense because every time he gets called out, he calls the other person gay and starts spamming homophobic slurs. Well, why don't we let these pictures decide? I mean, this looks pretty gay to me. At the very least, he's not straight. So I want you to keep that in the back of your mind as we continue talking about, Amru. Yo, it's Editor Onion here, and for some reason the following 1 minute of footage sounds like I threw my microphone in the oven for an hour. I still have absolutely no clue why it sounds like that, but you'll hear what I mean in a second, so back to the video. And look, obviously I don't have a problem with you if you're gay, but you can't go around calling other people fat when you're literally laying naked in bed with 2 other guys. And this is a running theme with not just Myron, but all the other people I'll be talking about very shortly. They all contradict themselves a lot, and they will do whatever it takes to make you believe their silly stories. Which is where we are introduced to Fresh. This is the other host of the Fresh and Fit podcast. His real name is Waltuh Weekes. And if you were to guess how many girls this guy has slept with in his entire life, what would you say? 1, 2, 3, maybe? Try 1,000. That's right, guys. Fresh claims he has slept with over 1,000 girls in his life.
My honest to God true body count, bro. No cap. You ready for it? It's over 1,000.
But let's go ahead and hear one of his stories about how he slept with 3 girls in one night.
But I met this guy at a pool party. He's an NBA player. I won't say his name for some reasons, but you know, he's a pretty top tier guy, high value guy, right? I'm at the bar ordering drinks for my friends, and he says, "Yo, bro, what's a good spot to go party at tonight?" I told him, "Look, bro, you can go downtown, you can go to Brickell."
First of all, as the YouTuber Spencer Cornelia said very well, you're never gonna just meet a famous NBA player in a fucking bar.
Back when I worked for the Houston Rockets, my coworker friend was best friends with Chandler Parsons, and one night I saw them at a bar. When he went to the bathroom, he needed his friends to surround him, and he bent over to be less recognizable. I say that because NBA players don't hang out at the bar. They can't.
And second, why would anybody ask you, who pays for prostitutes and has little to no clout, for the best party location?
He followed me, he said, "Wait, you know this chick?" So he posted this girl's profile. I was like, "Yeah, I know her, bro. I used to like deal with her back in the day." He's like, "Damn, that's my shorty want to come in town." So basically, we were smashing the same chick.
So by sheer coincidence, this famous NBA player who Fresh was talking to was also sleeping with the same girls Fresh was sleeping with. And then he invites Walter to his mansion party the next day because he's just such a nice, generous dude.
So I'm like, "Yo, how's this gonna work?" He says to me, "Yo, come through, bro." So he's like, "Yo, pick 3 that you want, and I got you." I was like, 3 that I want? Is this like a buffet? Shoot, I'll take it.
And then this famous NBA player lets Walter fuck any 3 girls he wants. This is like something a high schooler would tell me. So if he was lying about this story, which he clearly is, what else could he be lying about? Well, here's him getting called out by a viewer live on air for lying about his body count.
And inside of this video, you were saying something like how you got 1,000 bodies and shit. And I'm like, bruh, you is not fucking like that, my nigga. You said you got 1,000 bodies in a year, bro. That shit is cap.
No, I didn't say in a year. In a lifetime. But what did I lie to you, bro? I'm not getting paid for it.
You're not getting paid directly for it, but let's not beat around the bush here. Your fans are fucking stupid. And they'll probably think that it's pretty impressive that you have 1,000 bodies, and maybe they'll even buy your dating course thinking that you're credible when you in fact are not. And if you didn't think these guys could get any worse, these dating courses aren't even made by them. They're literally just copy and pasted by other credible dating coaches.
These guys went through our content and repackaged it as their own. He watched most of his videos, concluded that he simply plagiarizes everyone else's work. Oh, what a surprise. He stole all the novel, innovative concepts I had in there, and he made a product called Pandemic Pickup. Now,
having to research all the dumb shit Walter and Myron have done honestly makes me want to jump off a bridge. So before I change the topic to something more compelling, let me switch the conversation back to Myron. Because I know if he sees this video, he'll resort to petty roast on my appearance or something, so don't worry because I already have that all covered. You are 34 years old and your physique is average at best. You took this picture with a pump, bro. I woke up at noon after having the flu for 2 weeks and took this picture, and I actually didn't need SARMs and hookers to achieve this physique, believe it or not. You could probably look like this in about 2 weeks if you try. And here's a reminder that you admitted to only banging 4s through 8s, which is really funny since your dating course says you're sharing the secrets to getting the most desirable women. I didn't know Lizzo was desirable, but okay. And I'd be willing to bet that if you subtracted the people you pay for, I'd probably have about 10 more bodies than you because you've never had a single non-transactional relationship in your life, dude. And if you've ever had the chance to eat a girl out, God rest her soul, because I bet the whole time your nose was banging up against her clit. I could go on for hours about all the other shit these two people have done, but I know none of you guys want to see these faces anymore, so I'll just save it for another day. Now, with the rise of all these Sigma male gurus, the red pill belief has been embedded into the lives of young adults. Guys will go through one bad breakup and start blasting steroids and idolizing Patrick Bateman. Like, how many times have you heard a girl say kill all men or all men suck? And how many times have you heard a man say the same thing about women? Now, I'm not gonna sit around and act like dark jokes aren't funny now, because they are, but there are literally kids who are looking up to like serial killers now because they're Sigma. Even I at one point fell victim to the Sigma male trap. After me and one of my exes split up, I really started to think, like, is dating even worth it? Like, was Juice WRLD right? And I can honestly understand why there are people out here who fall victim to the beliefs of these alpha males. Like, imagine if your girl cheated on you and you have no one left to trust because this girl was literally your everything. And then all of a sudden, these alpha male podcasters start talking about why women suck. If you were in a really dark place, maybe you'd latch on to that belief. So if you're watching this video and you have some of those toxic red pill beliefs, don't fucking think like that, bro, because it'll seriously tear your life apart. And not to mention, girls don't fucking like Sigma males anyways. Like, you're not going to become desirable all of a sudden by acting all mysterious and not talking to women. That is not you being yourself at all, bro. Another YouTuber I used to look up to a lot is Hamza. Hamza is a men's self-improvement channel, and for the most part, he gave a lot of very good advice. He kind of had the life I always wanted. Great physique, making millions of dollars off YouTube while also inspiring a bunch of other people. Beautiful girlfriend as well. I mean, you can't really hate. He has a pretty fucking cool life. But over time, he started to change a lot. A year ago, he uploaded this video, "I've fulfilled my purpose," where he basically says that he's taking a step back from YouTube to focus on other things like starting a family, for example. And he even gave us updates on his life, like this video where he says he's going to start a family, and he also spends a lot of time in this video shitting on this degenerate lifestyle of partying and trying to sleep with as many girls as possible. And then he comes out with this video saying that he broke up with the girl that he originally planned on spending his entire life with.
To not become the goofy farting boyfriend. You meet her at a time that you're almost acting like James Bond, like you're grinding, you're working hard on your mission, you're around waiting for her to come back, speaking in your high-pitched voice because you wanted to keep cuddling. And she can't help but to lose attraction for you. The truth is, and you know this, like, you need to keep a polarized, mysterious relationship.
So you're trying to tell me that you guys broke up because you weren't a Sigma enough and you were like laughing and having fun? This is why this whole Sigma red pill shit is so dangerous, because you can't just pick and choose choose a personality. Like, you're not allowed to laugh, have fun, and open up to your literal wife? I'm so tired of people acting like if you cry in front of your girl, she'll like leave you and think you're less of a man. Like, that is not how it works at all, dude. So essentially, this guy left his girlfriend so he could go back to partying and sleeping around when just a few months prior, he talked so badly about that lifestyle. And sometimes he just says the most out-of-pocket shit. Like, he went on this whole tangent going on and on about how 90% of men are incels.
90% of men are incels. You watching this right now are technically an incel. It doesn't seem like you actually are, because incel seems this like scary word of like these dark, like dangerous people. But the definition of incel means involuntarily celibate. That means that they are celibate, like they're not having sex, involuntarily, which means like not by their own wishes. There's a lot of guys in this bottom 90% of incels who act like it is voluntarily. They act like, you know, well, you know, I don't care about getting girls. It's a cope. 90% of men are incels.
Have you ever thought that some people just don't want to have casual sex? Like, Hamza has made countless videos about why you should avoid instant gratification and high dopamine activities, so why would this be any different? Like, you're not an incel if you're not trying to fuck every girl you talk to. Every few weeks, this guy will change his mind and start shit-talking the life he previously talked so fondly of. And his fans are all starting to turn on him too. Like, he has a program where he charges $130 a month to his fans for access to a private community. So let's go ahead and hear what one of his fans had to say about his experience being in that community.
For me, it took 10 months to really discover the detriment that it was having on my life, honestly. Hamza is a very intelligent guy. He's very smart, he knows exactly what he's doing, and this is one of the first things I realized, is that he knows how to keep you trapped, essentially.
That sounds pretty bad to me. Like, why would you want to take advice from a guy who barely even knows what he's doing himself? And that's the problem with these alpha males, because there's no good ones to even look up to, because they all preach the same dumb shit, like infidelity and just like degenerate activities. I wanted to talk about a few other people in today's video, like Luke Belmar, for example. Luke Belmar is a lifestyle influencer who had a really tough childhood.
My goal was, I need to get out of here. That was my first goal. So what I did was I contacted my uncle. My uncle was a pilot. So at the age of 17, with $200 in a suitcase, I asked my uncle to get me a flight to New York. So where the flight attendants sit, that's where I sat. So I sat there all embarrassed, and I landed in New York. And I started working regular jobs. I worked in the kitchen. I was washing toilets.
And he managed to scale that money up to 8 figures. Wow, what an inspiration, dude. Maybe there is finally an alpha male out there who is worth looking up to. Well, as it turns out, it only took me one Google search to find out that this guy's past is completely fabricated. He even talked about how his brother is fat and depressed. You know, he's really in the mud. Well, here's a picture of his brother. Yeah, really fat. I'd be depressed too if I looked like that. Now, unfortunately, this mega viral Twitter thread exposing Luke has since been taken down for copyright reasons. So I'm a little scared that if I expose Luke too much, I might be next. So let me just say, Luke, you're a complete fraud, and let me leave it off with a few words from my favorite celebrity.
I've been going through some transcripts, and it says here that you aren't subscribed to One Giant Onion. What were you thinking?